Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share a layout that I created using my September 2020 Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit. Now this kit was based on a Felicity Jane kit called Shay, and it was a kit from 2019, but I've had it in my stash for a while. And it's one that I had bought several of the embellishment packs. I had bought it all separately. And so I didn't have the entire kit. I just had a portion of the kit. And so I pulled together some additional papers and embellishments to create this Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit. Here I'm fussy cutting the border off the bottom just because I like that look. And it is going to be the center focus, the center backdrop, if you will, for the photos that I'm adding to this layout. Sorry, I guess I should have cut this portion out of me doing this fussy cutting, but I guess it's a good idea, if you don't know how to fussy cut, you move your scissors, not your paper. Good example of that, right? So I'm going to get this put down there in the center, and I'm going to use that floral paper as um, an additional element in the background. I love that floral paper, and I bought that floral paper primarily to fussy cut it. And it's a cheap little piece from, um, Hobby Lobby. I happened to be in there one day, and they had a whole shelf of these beautiful florals and leafy pieces, and they had wood grains to match them, so I grabbed up a bunch of both. So there's my center backdrop for the photo. The photo is going to be titled Waiting for You. And this is one of those, I'm down to the bottom of my kit, and I wanted to get several more layouts done with it. So I went through and made some page kits out of what I had left over in the kit. And so in doing that, I find that I stack the embellishments like I want them on the layout, and then stack them all in a bin and pull them out one at a time, already stacked on the paper, so I have an idea of how I want everything to go. Now I cut the photo down to 4 by 4, and I'm going to use that. And it's just a photo of my two puppies, and we had just brought them home. Um, and so they had already learned our schedule. We primarily arranged our schedule to work with them. One of us would stay home with them. My husband changed his schedule to work weekends, and I worked during the week, so that we were always there with them for probably the first 6 months before they were truly left alone for any length of time. And even still, they're a year and a half old, but we don't leave them by themselves for more than 6 hours at a time. So far, I just don't trust. At this age, they're still puppies, and they still get into everything. And I come home and I find toys scattered everywhere, but then I find my books chewed up, or my husband's glasses will be chewed up, that kind of thing. They are puppies, so, you kind of got to expect some of it. Not nearly as much as what we've had. I don't necessarily expect it or appreciate it from them. They're little heathens on occasion, but they're learning a little at a time, right? It's like with kids, a little at a time. So you can see there, I took a piece of a journal card and put it right there, and then I'm taking an additional, that's a piece of a border strip, and another piece of a journal card will go right on top of that to create a small little cluster of papers there. And then on the right side, I had just taken a leftover paper and used the flip side of it. I had those little frames there that came with the ephemera pack, and I'm just going to tuck them there under the corner of the photo and call those good. There's two of them there, and I'm going to use both of them to do the same thing. I'm just going to nest one inside the other. And I'm trying to ensure that I get whatever washi tape is, or not washi tape, whatever adhesive tape, excuse me, overflowed to the outside of the frame gets put into the frame, to the back of the frame. And so you can see there, I have my title already laid out on some wax paper. When I made these page kits, I found myself doing that in order to, when I did get the time to put the pages together to make it go a little faster, I did it that way. And so I'm lining up because usually I will put my title on the edge of the ruler and then put the ruler where I want the title to go, and then press it down from there. I had to do things a little bit differently. I had to use my ruler to line up the title. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I find that you'll see I have a gap at the top between the alphabet, the title, and the photo. I don't, when I'm making a layout, I don't necessarily like my title to touch photos or touch other things. I like there to be a separation. Even if it's part of a cluster, I still like there to be a separation. And a lot of times, even with the little tiny letter tiles, I will put them next to each other, but they won't be touching. Um, and sometimes that separation, even within a word, will give it more definition than if you like stack it right on top of each other or right next to each other. And it makes it look as if it is its very own embellishment. There's one of those little floral clusters that I fussy cut. And I'm going to fill the back up with adhesive, um, and then I'll get that laid down there. So I cut a lot of that part out. At least I was smart enough to do that because I cut some tiny little pieces along there. And then you'll see here, I'm going to start peeling the tape. And again, I cut a lot of that out. Going to get the cluster put down. I love that cluster on its own, um, separate from that background paper. I just love the look of that. And those papers from Hobby Lobby, the cheap little inexpensive 69-cent each papers, they are perfect for fussy cutting. I love, love, love to fussy cut those. They are so simple and easy to do. You don't have to struggle with thick cardstock, you know? And so I cut out several elements, trimmed them down, left some of the bits and pieces out. And so you'll see I add that to the other side there. Love, love, love how that looks. Use one of the little pieces of ephemera that came with the collection or in addition to the paper that I purchased. That's a little photo corner. I believe that came in the ephemera pack as well. I have some leftovers from Felicity Jane that I had added into this kit in just a random box, and that box is sitting somewhere around me as I am creating this layout. I have just reorganized my scrap desk, so I'm struggling in some aspects to ensure that I have room for everything around me. You see, I labeled up a sticker there, and then I'm going to label up that little tab at the top, and I have yet to put my date on there. This was a phone photo, and so when I have a phone photo, I batch them together, and I don't necessarily look at the dates that they were taken. You know, whereas when I am editing my photos for from my camera, I edit them by month and put them into files respectively. But when I do my phone photos, I send the photos off to my printer to get them done. They print them all out and they mail them to me. And then when I don't necessarily back those up on my computer with my photo files in the month that they're done. They are just uploaded into a file that says phone photos printed. So I know that I already have those. So next time I go to print phone photos, I know where to start from. I know I need to be better about organizing those, but I have my camera photos organized fairly well. So that's a positive. So here I'm going to add some finishing touches. I have the enamel dots out there, um, enamel hearts and enamel dots, and then I have those puffy stickers as well. I'm just going to try things out around the layout to see where I'm going to use whatever I decide to use. I love being able to use different embellishments from different manufacturers to use together when creating these kits, curating my own kits. I feel like I get so much more use out of the products that I have. Whereas if in a kit you get all of these things that you may not use or you may not like, in the case of making your own kits, you can pull in things that you absolutely adore. And for me, if I don't like it, I'm not going to buy it. And so I know the things that are in my stash are things that I love. Now, I do randomly find something in my stash and I go, oh, why did I have that? Or I might buy something thinking, oh, I'll love that. And then I get it home and it's like, yeah, not so much. But those things usually go out and they go back out, they go to my granddaughter's school. And I don't ever worry about, not having things that I love in my stash. And that's one of the things that I love most about making my own kits is that I know when I pull these kits together, I am going to love everything that is in them. Anyway, that's coming up to the end of this layout. I will have a photo of the layout. If you'll stay tuned to the very end, I'll have some photos. And I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching my video, and I hope that they inspire you. And I hope that you are able to get into your scrap room or your craft room and play and have some fun with the things that you purchased that you absolutely adore and want to get used up. Anyway, everyone, have a great day. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.